Namaskar, everyone. Really happy to be here with you today and share my journey of RaAl and how it helps me to live more intuitively, more naturally each day. When babies come out in this world, they come out bawling, screaming their heads off. It's a universal fact from ancient times till now. And why do they do that? We certainly know they do not do that because they're unhappy being in this world. Well, they cry because it's integral to their survival. Their lungs need to start working in this world outside the wombs. And how do they know what to do? Who's taught them that? It's an incredibly smart thing for such little beings to know. And next, how does a baby breathe so perfectly, so beautifully? While here we are, most of us, taking classes to learning to breathe all over again. Why? We're so much smarter than them. We are educated, we're experienced. Well, primarily because we have forgotten the most important things in our lives. When babies are born, they are in the purest state. They are deeply connected to their consciousness, which is diligently and meticulously guiding them in very, very intelligent ways. And then humanity interrupts, conditioning them, schooling them, meddling. And now they grow into these little beings who go from class to class, music, riding, Vedic maths. They are taught to behave in a certain way, to show respect in a certain way, to express themselves, to appreciate certain kind of music. Boys are told that their color is blue, the girls are told their color is pink. Till one day they grow up and realize, well, they've forgotten how to breathe properly. In fact, they have forgotten the most amazing superpower they were born with. That is of intuition. So, intuition, according to Oxford Dictionary, is something that makes you believe or know something is true without being able to describe why. Well, that feeling is not coming from nowhere, is it? The source of it is our consciousness. And there have been no worldly definitions which describe consciousness. But it is there. And it keeps speaking to us till a certain point, till we keep covering it up with so much rubbish, so much garbage that's lost or quiet. And we all do that to ourselves constantly, interrupting a deeply intuitive and powerful way of living naturally, overthinking, collecting too much information, confusing it with knowledge, getting attached to habits, customs, rituals, thinking that all that is necessary to a sense of being. And that part of us becomes such a huge baggage that's tiring us. It is causing friction at the deepest and surface levels of ourself. Well, knowledge does not end up becoming wisdom for us. Knowing something does not end up making us wise. And then there's this beautiful, most divine and ancient method called RaAl. RaAl, something very beautiful and starkly simple happens when we do RaAl. It's a way shown, given by a lineage of super enlightened masters, a way which is deeply loving and compassionate. A neurobiological button is pressed in all of us. An energy trigger happens, which is unique for us, so that we may be able to slowly drop conditions one by one, naturally, so that that innate connection is working for us again clearly. Each day of practice lets us shed something we don't need, and we come to this realization on our own without outside intervention. Well, I can tell you this because I have come to know this. I've been practicing RaAl for some years now, and it has been guiding me in the most unique and wonderful ways. All the crossroads of my life, points of decision where I've had to decide to go one way or the other. I would earlier struggle, have sleepless nights, racking my brain for a solution. So now what do? I wait. I wait a bit till something definitely points to me in a direction. Things start to unfold in a certain way where a certain path gets highlighted and the other path will get shut down on its own as if it was never there. Always there is an innate and constant guidance to realize and sift out self-damaging behaviors, whether they are part of me, my relationships. There is an insight at a certain point to step back from the trigger where things start to go downhill for me. And I do realize that negative reactions are not a part of me. They are coming from my ego, which is been used to being habitually satisfied from my reactions. So the moment I recognize this fact, it gets easier to step back. For example, someone is in a habit of sulking and you are reacting with angry words and exasperation each time. It will become a negative pattern for both of you in your life. And if you step back for a few times and do not react with that anger, the pattern will fizzle out certainly. Because the anger is coming from your ego and is mostly not necessary for anything other than your false sense of being. So you drop it. And some days you just know that a reaction or some words are necessary where you have been keeping quiet too long. So I've also come to know since a few years that I cannot fight my negative thoughts. They're a part of me, my life, my experiences. I would try controlling them and it would blow up into a full-blown panic attack. I would immensely suffer. So after getting introduced to RaAl, this guidance would pop up quite often, saying don't struggle too hard, that I'm only fighting myself. I now understand when there's an overflow of thoughts, especially the negative kinds, that I neither accept them nor reject them. I'm like a distant companion to them till one day they vanish on their own. And of course, there are many days when I will slip back into my old patterns. But that self-knowledge is always there. Don't do that, it says. The other way is simpler, easier, less hurtful. This guidance is available to all of us. It is innate to all of us. And so many of our practitioners have come to know that and learn that, sometimes just in a matter of days when they start practice. A feeling of lightness, blockages opening up, new confidence coming in which was not there earlier, falling in love with life once again. Because deep inside we start living again and life is showing us new ways. So when the luggage gets lighter, The ways get clearer, the journey becomes more joyful. There are more days now I am happier without a reason. I may skip when I walk. I would sing more. I would laugh a little louder. I know the feeling because I felt the same when I was a kid, when I was running through puddles, tumbling in the grass. It's because the struggle has lessened. And there's this supremely intelligent, carefree, loving part of me which is always guiding me. I keep listening to. In fact, I wait for it. Sometimes it's a long lost friend who comes to tell me something which I needed to hear. Sometimes it's a message or a book or a sign, something which will make sense then. And sometimes it's just a eureka moment. So this revealed way is of this supra intelligence flowing through us, poking us at right points. It's to be experienced, it's hard to explain. We are connecting to the I within I. It's like a small child is taking us towards the light, which is basically nothing but our core energy connecting to our consciousness and moving through our gross layers. It's a way of living instinctively, intuitively, intelligently. All these qualities are intrinsic within all of us. We just have to let them emerge to become whole and beautiful. So as I walk on the little path of RaAl, I have no long-winded lectures to give you. I'm just happy to be here today, to share a part of my journey with you in this time and space, hoping you'll walk with me and experience the wonder and beauty of it too. Thank you.